Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Now, hopefully you all had a chance to check out my first video where I talked about why I am playing Raid Shadow Legends in 2025. And here I am for my second video here, which is going to be talking about all of the mistakes that I have made within my first week of Raid. So I'm just coming up on 7 days on this account. And there are a few things where I thought that they were important, and it turns out that I probably shouldn't have spent as much time on it as I did. So these are the kind of warnings that I want to give to you guys if you're starting a brand new account, or if you're a returning player looking to seek out a new adventure. And also, speaking of that, I do want to mention that if you do download and start playing the game using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or in the description down below, there's a download link there, then you can get yourself a free epic Rector Drath and a bunch of free goodies, epic skill tombs, some energy refills, and double XP, which is going to be really great. Also, that if you do use that link in the QR code, you can get yourself a free Ugo at level 15, I believe, on your account level, all the characters that I am using. And another thing that I do want to point out, actually, you might have seen on my roster screen there, that if you do go and you go to the promo codes button here in game, and unfortunately I can't show you that whole thing because I've already redeemed one, but if you insert Monkey King, capital M, Monkey King, I'm going to have something across the screen here that's going to show you that, then you can get yourself a free Sun Wukong, a legendary character for this game as well, which is going to be absolutely amazing for your journey in Raid Shadow Legends, because he is one of my top characters in my roster. So between Sun Wukong, Rector Drath, and Ugo, it's going to make your experience a lot easier in the beginning. So, let's just get started here. What are some of the things that I had some troubles with when I started playing the game? And I wouldn't say troubles, but there were some things that I thought was important that really turned out to not be that important. And that was all of the characters that I ended up pulling through the crystals, right? And I kind of had a hard time understanding, or kind of coming to a realization that some of the rarities just really aren't that important. I started in the beginning when I first started, I didn't have that many characters, and I still don't have that many, but I started to accumulate a lot of green or uncommon characters, and to some extent, rare blue slash, rare characters as well. And I came to think, well, how many of these are actually that important to have? And I thought, because this is a hero collector, right? And I'm taking my hero collector hat on as to that, I want to kind of catch them all, right? Like Pokemon style, I want to catch them all. But realistically, you just don't have the space, and you don't need to keep these. And there's not a there's none I can personally recommend, honestly. There's maybe a couple of good green characters, uncommons, but besides that, I think I was spending too much time upgrading them. Some of the characters that I really shouldn't have wasted my time with. And what I was doing is, and I want to show you guys, in case some of you were ever thinking about this, don't do what I was doing, is let's find one of my, I must have a locked character. Yeah, so Stalwart, for example. And what I would do is I would go into the tavern and I would upgrade the skills. So you can upgrade your skills through a variety of ways. You can either use the books. Do not use books on your green characters. But the other way that you can do this actually is by duping them into themselves. So if you have duplicate characters, for example, let's take this Picker. I already did this. You could literally just dupe another version of that character to upgrade the skills. So I had like massive OCD going on or something. And so I went around to all of my green characters and I started duping them all into each other, thinking that I was going to use like these 60 or so or more green uncommon characters that are in Raid Shadow Legends. We're not even going to talk about grays and commons. I did not do that with them. But with the greens, I guess I somehow convinced myself or thought that this was actually worthwhile to do. And I do want to tell you that I probably would not waste my time doing this. Now, one thing that you can do with your green characters is that you can take them to level 20, or you could use them as food for your other 2-star characters. And I don't think I properly explained food in this on this channel here, but basically you're going to be sacrificing these characters to upgrade one of your own. And I don't have a character on hand, but I could probably just show you this here. So if we take this character here, Head Taker, and I might be able to upgrade her levels. I think I have some of these. So if we go up to level 20, which I think I should be able to do, there we go, level 19, I can sacrifice this character, and then we're at max level at level 20. And then to upgrade them from a 2-star character to a 3-star character, I need to sacrifice or, use as food 2 of these green 2-star characters. And so, again, you can see all these lock things on my roster screen because I thought that these characters were important. They're not. You're either going to level them up to 20 to then sacrifice other green characters, other uncommons like this. I'm going to do this. And then now she's at 3-star. And then I'm going to do that as well again so that I can use them as food for some of my other better characters. Really, that's what it is. And so I really wouldn't bother, leveling up or spending a lot of time with characters, anything outside of the blue and above. And some people might argue that only purple and above is that important. The epic characters and higher are that important. But I do think that there are some value in some of the blue rare characters, which we will talk about in another video. Now, the reason why I thought that, what I just talked about, why I thought it was important is because, I found out that there's this game mode called Faction Wars. And what I mean I found out is because, like, it's there. It's in the game. And it's kind of overwhelming when you first start the game. Oh, there's some rewards I can collect. So this is a game mode that represents all of the in-game factions. And there is a lot. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's 16. 4, 7, 9, 11, 34. Yeah, 16 of them, which is a lot. Now, not all of these are open every single day. Different days have a different amount of faction war crypts that are open. The main one that I've been focusing on is the Dark Elf crypt because I started with Kale, and so this is really good for me. But if you look at some of these other ones, like this is the Barbarian crypt, and I haven't even done this because, and my head's in the way, so let me remove the box. That you can see here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. These are all of my characters that are tagged under the Barbarian trait. And a lot of them are green. And so I guess I thought, like, maybe I should level these green characters up so that I could pursue the Faction Wars game mode and being able to, do some of the nodes on there. But, realistically, you don't want to be spending a lot of time, leveling up these green characters. I would really only focus on blue and above, because otherwise you're just wasting your energy and wasting your time kind of upgrading these characters when you should be focusing on stronger characters. So that's just something that I wanted to point out there because, I don't want people to overly waste their resources and waste their energy that they have on a daily basis. Because if you're not spending, you have a finite amount of energy. And so you do need to kind of focus on where you're going to be spending that. And the reason why you would want to level up your green characters is what I just did. And is that to hit the max level, to get them to the next star rank, and then just to use them as food for your other characters. So that's the main part of that and why you'll be wanting to do that. And, like I said, I have a lot of green characters, which means I have a lot of food, to feed my other characters to get them up to higher star ranks. But, don't bother, using them, actively using them, equipping them with gear and all of those kinds of things as well, because it'll take forever, right? Like there's so many green uncommon characters that you're just, there's no point and upgrading them. Some might argue that even the blue rare characters are that way, but I guess my roster hasn't progressed enough. I wouldn't waste your time on every single rare character, but there are a handful of them that are actually pretty good. We're going to be covering this part, though, in a separate video as to which blues you might want to, or rare characters that you might want to actually take a look at or a second look at, because there is some value in some of them. As I do actually have some of them leveled up, and they have been useful in my game. I do want to mention, just again in this video, though, of course, and if you haven't started playing yet, if you haven't downloaded Raid, if you haven't started a new account, or you're a returning player who wants to start a brand new one, make sure that you download the game using the QR link, the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or the download link in the description down below, because of course you're going to get some freebies, including Rector Drath and a bunch of extra resources. And don't forget to go to the promo code section and type in Monkey King, and you will get yourself a free legendary Sun Wukong, who is at the top of my roster. And he just looks really badass, doesn't he? Like, the design of the characters in this game is just truly phenomenal. Like, I really like the look of this. And he is, what, about 15, almost 16,000 power, I believe. Oh, he's on par with my Kale. So these are my two top characters here. This is the top of my roster here. So let's continue on and talk about some of the mistakes that I made earlier on. And I want to talk about wasting your gems. That's what they're called, right? Gems? The gems. So you can see that this is your premium currency, the gems here that you get daily through gameplay, through quests and achievements, that kind of thing that you get, and what you can use it on. There's a whole store dedicated to stuff that you can buy for it. But honestly, there's a lot of things that I also would not use it on, and some things that people immediately would kind of see right off the bat, especially if you run out of energy, is this full energy refresh for 40 gems. Now, it says restore energy. Now, it's really important to understand what full energy means because I didn't when I first started playing the game. And it actually means that. It means exactly that, full energy. Now, the difference is that depending on what level your account is at, so I'm at level 36, that my energy cap is 106. So that's how much a full energy for me is 106. But when you first start playing the game, I forget what it starts at. I almost want to say that it's 70, which is pretty low. So a full energy refresh at level 1 is going to be a lot different than a full energy at level 36. Also, I think that it keeps going until level 60, where the cap is 130. I do believe. Don't quote me on that one. I'm pretty sure as I get higher level up, I get +1, I think, or +2 per level up, something like that. And so it's really important to note. And why I wouldn't be spending your gems on energy refreshes at this point in time. And it's also important to understand what a full energy refresh is because I didn't when I first started playing the game. Some other games give you like, I don't know, like +80 energy, +60 energy, but this is a full energy refresh. And also, if you ever get any of these through the gameplay, sometimes it goes to your inbox. Like you do get rewards to your inbox either because of promo codes or because of claiming certain rewards, and it goes into here. It actually can sit in your inbox for a decent amount of time, depending on, it'll tell you, right? There's a timer. Some of them, especially if they're promo code related, can actually sit there for like 99 days or something like that, something crazy like that. And so if you are sitting on these full energy refresh tokens, I would consider holding on to them until you're a bit higher level so that you'll make some better use out of it. Because I think that it's better to get more energy than less energy. So there's no real rush to claiming them, especially if they're just sitting in the inbox, unless they're about to go away. So do pay attention to the timer on that in terms of what is available for you. And I also want to talk about using my gems because I talked about what not to do with your gems. I want to talk about what you should or what you can do with your gems. And you might notice this thing called the gem mine. Now, this has 3 different levels. This is basically an idle way to produce gems for free on a daily basis. Now, the first, I believe every level actually costs 500 gems. So to fully unlock and get this to level 3, it's going to cost you 1,500 gems. But in 23 hours, basically 22 hours and 42 minutes, I can get 15 gems, which is really, really good. And I can get that completely for free every day. Now, it might sound like that's not a lot, but if you're playing this game for a long time in perpetuity and you're getting 15 gems every single day, like that's going to start adding up. And that's gems that you can use for other things. So this is my first priority, in my opinion, in terms of using your gems and being able to get more gems back, right? You spend gems to be able to get more gems back. The second place that I would mention is also the market. That's just me personally and where I've been spending some of my gems. So there are, I believe you get these 4 rows or these 4 columns that are completely free. Or maybe it's 3. Maybe it's the first 3 columns. And then you have to unlock them, right? You need to spend a little bit of gems and then a little bit of silver and then a little bit of gems and a little bit of silver to get all the slots unlocked. And I do think it's worth it. Because there's a variety of different things that can randomly pop in here. You can actually get ancient shards, not just mystery shards, but you can get ancient shards in here sometimes as well. So you never know what's going to happen, and these refresh every hour, which is pretty crazy. So it's worth getting this unlocked after you've done the gem mines. Actually, maybe even a little bit before the gem mines, but it doesn't cost too much to do this. But this is something that should be on your priority list as well. Thirdly, and the one thing that I'm working on right now with my gems is actually the Guardian Ring. And this is the idle sort of leveling up system that you can have. If you want to just, set some characters to level up overnight or throughout the day, you can see here, I'll hide my camera again, and you can see that the next level for my dwarf character is in the next 2 hours. And so you can set characters into these different slots and they get 2200 XP per hour. Now you can spend gems to unlock each slot. You can also upgrade the existing slots as well. So this is not a priority in the beginning part of the game because XP and levels is pretty quick. But later on, when you need to spend a little bit more time getting experience, this will definitely help you having additional slots for this so that you can level your characters, throughout the day. And so this is something that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be unlocking all 5 slots as I get more gems. because I'm only at 160. I know the QR code is blocking it. I'm at 163 just now, so I won't quite be able to unlock it just yet, but hopefully I will be able to soon. And so those are the, I guess, 3 major ways that you can use gems that I think are worthwhile, especially in the early game. You know, some things that I've noticed myself that would really help me over the long term, and why I wanted to kind of share that with you guys too, and especially alongside the hero trap that I mentioned in the first half of the video, because I spent way too much time obsessing over all of these characters that I was unlocking when I realized that I probably shouldn't have. And that's like a beginner trap that maybe if you're new to Raid Shadow Legends, that you know, you wouldn't really realize you're spending all this time on something that doesn't matter a whole lot. But anyways, I hope that this video was helpful. And once again, you know, I just want to remind people, if you haven't downloaded the game yet, make sure you do using the QR code on the top right hand of the screen, because you will get yourself some free resources, including a free epic Rector Draft and some goodies there. And I did mention them also in game, that you could see the characters Rector Drath, Ugo, who you'll get at level 15 as well, and Sun Wukong if you use the promo code Monkey King by going to the left-hand side of the screen, clicking on promo codes, and inputting the code Monkey King over here. I'll have something across the screen for this as well. So I want to thank everyone for coming to the video. Let me know if this helped. Definitely hit that subscribe button as well, because you'll be helping support this channel. And if you have any additional topics for videos on this channel, let me know in the comments down below as well. Because we're going to be going along in this new player journey in Raid Shadow Legends, which I'm having a lot of fun with. Just wanted to kind of point out some of the pitfalls that some people might fall into. So that's it for now, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.